Welcome back. We are here with 1447, and in the last one, we had everyone working on their aspirations. We had Thomas and Adelaide move out to follow Thomas's dreams of owning a horse ranch, and we had twin boys be born, both of whom survived. And you can kind of tell he looks more like his mom and he looks more like his dad, but isn't that funny? Anyway, so that is what happened in the last one. We have firmly handed over the business to Odelgard, and also Thomas fulfilled his aspiration. Now he wants to make sure his lineage is successful, and El Rosario is working on the party animal and truly accomplished aspirations. So that's going on there. Also, we have the affair going on in the house, which, we'll see what happens there. So let's do some rolls. We actually don't have that many this year. So we have Felice Heathcliff, who needs to not roll a 7. She did not. And then will she be getting married? She will, and she'll be having 9 children. Ay, ay, ay. Felice Heathcliff. How come everyone's having 9 kids now? And then we have Elra Dutton and Maurice 2 Trimboli are both going to need to roll a 9 or higher to be adults. Yes and no. Okay, well, Maurice, that's that, I suppose. So Maurice just died. But other than that, we're in a pretty good spot. Nothing terribly exciting happening here. I know that, I don't know if you guys, how you feel yet, because I'm recording in advance about Mirabelle being chosen over Osmi, but also we do have Cassian the second aging up soon, so it wouldn't be an awful thing if he married Osmi. They're both in the same wealth class. So anyway, we'll see what happens there, but that is that. Let's hop back into the game. Alright, so if you saw my post in the community tab, you'll know that I did have some problems, but I'll explain those as I go along. What's important here right now is that I didn't notice those problems until the first day had gone by, so we can play the first day together before I really get into that. But anyway, so we have the twins have been born, and I gave them this little room here, and I also changed the workshop into a little house for Odelgard so that she has a separate living space over there near the garden, and then I also made the garden smaller so that it's not so cumbersome for her to do all of the gardening, and it takes her all day, and then there's no time for nectar making. So there's that, and yeah, so we are just going to go through the day, doing their chores, taking care of the babies. I, of course, immediately am like, I can't take care of these babies. And and then go to cheat the needs. But anyway, so what happened with my game? What happened was after this day, I realized that I started using a mod manager, and I don't know if that's what caused all of this problem or not. But I think it's not, because a fresh save still using all my mods was fine. But anyway, so I was using a mod manager, and I realized that my MCC command center and my MCCC woohoo were off. They weren't in sync. So I was like, oh, I got to close the game and fix that, because obviously without MCCC woohoo, I couldn't have Thomas and Alrosaria woohoo and stuff. So I went to go close my game to get that, and wouldn't you know, the save just hung forever, and I was like, okay, that's weird. So I restarted, and I checked when I got back in, and I couldn't save the game. I couldn't upload any houses. I couldn't upload any families to the gallery. I couldn't do anything. I could play the game, but I couldn't save any progress or any sims or any households or anything. So that was really stressful. I found a backup from October 15th or something, which is kind of a long time ago. But I was like, okay, fine. I found a backup. I'll figure it out. And I started playing in that backup, and I saved it at first, and everything seemed fine. But after a little while, it also started to have the same problem. So I was like, oh no, is there something wrong with my game? I had already repaired it, and I was really worried that I had messed up my whole game, and that no matter what I did, it was going to be a problem. And I think I've come to the conclusion that it was just, the problem was just that, we'd been playing in the save too long. You know how sometimes you play in a save too long and it starts to just fall apart? I'm hoping that's the issue because I started a fresh save and I was able to save a couple of households, luckily including our main household, although everyone has a makeover because I tried everything without mods. And so I had to do a fresh save. So I only brought over people that were still having babies, and like I had to remake the Sims. So like you'll notice Genevieve does look a little different after that, which is unfortunate. I still generated her from Thomas and Adelaide, but you know, it's just what it is. So we're in a new save, and everything looks a little bit different. It's kind of weird, but I'm just gonna roll with that from now on, and hopefully that save doesn't also have the same problems. I'm just gonna back it up every time. But anyway, so that's what happened. It was a lot. So it actually, though, it took me less time to figure out like to move everything to a fresh save than I thought. Although I didn't like totally remake the whole save file. We'll probably run into that a few times, but you know, we're just doing the best we can. So I wanted to get a video out. So that's what we did. And luckily my new save is okay. But anyway, what is happening here is that we are having a tea party. El Rosaria is throwing a tea party. Also, someone commented that El Rosaria might not be her name. And I'm really not sure, to be completely honest with you. I've just been saying it like that this whole time. But anyway, she's hosting a tea party, and they are just having a good time. She actually kind of, you know, treats Odelgard a bit like a servant. She was like, "Oh, can you bake the cake for the tea party?" Like, you know, I don't think she like thinks she's being rude. She's like, "Oh, you work for this family. Can you do what I want you to do?" But Odelgard is still doing her voodoo on her, and we are just chatting. Of course, Genevieve is being mean to Odelgard when she sees her because she doesn't like her, and we are just having them all do their thing, and I'm looking at their wants and stuff. And so Thomas actually went into the kitchen briefly, and so both Odelgard and El Rosaria are in there with him. The party is starting to come to an end. We did invite our cousins, but for some reason, all of a sudden, you can see El Rosaria is like being mean to him for some reason, and then they get a difficult family dynamic. I'm like, whoa, 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 what's going on here? And I think that what I'm going to say is she's like, are you really going to hide in the kitchen this whole time? Like, I want you to be more present. Like, we know that Thomas isn't super into the party stuff, but he puts up with it for her. And so she's probably like, you know, can't you just like be more social? Can't you just be doing this for me? And unfortunately, like nothing in that event worked, so that was weird. But anyway, so she was kind of mad about that, but then Odelgard comes in to cheer him up. And then we're going to check on the babies, and we're going to finish the truly accomplished aspiration. She's almost done. She just needs one more point of logic skill. So since, you know, she's cheering him up, I'm going to have them woohoo, and actually I am going to up the percentage chance that she gets pregnant because I kind of want it to happen. So we're going to roll a d4 instead, same as we do in the Japanese version. And honestly, I'm not sure if how that save file is doing. I assume since it's newer that it's going to be okay. I tried to save in it and it worked, so I'm just not really sure what's happening with my game. I'm doing the best I can. We'll see. I'm just going to keep, if everything keeps working fine, I'm just going to keep moving forward and hope that nothing else goes wrong. So we'll see. But anyway, so that is about we're getting close to the time where I realize I have a problem. So yeah. Also, he wants to have another child, which is why I was going to have them woohoo, and then I realized I can't because the settings are off and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that is when I go to restart the game because obviously Thomas and El Rosario need to be able to have a relationship. They're married. So here we go, and be ready for seeing something that is the same but slightly different and kind of weird, and it honestly is a little bit trippy. But it's like that episode of She-Ra where they go through the portal. But anyway, so it is kind of weird, but we're just going to have to get used to it. I am kind of bummed that Genevieve looks a little different, but we'll get used to it. All right, so here we are. You can see that their outfits are just slightly different. I did give Odelgard some better outfits because I was like, she should be dressed a little better for all this. And El Rosario got a whim to try for a baby with Thomas, so I am going to let them actually try for a baby for that. But yes, let me just fix the ages because I was playing a few days just to make sure that this save worked all right. But yeah, so here we go. I was able to save this family, which was so, so, so lucky. I didn't know what I was going to do if I was going to have to remake our main household. That would have infuriated me, especially because it would have been weird to see them every day. Um, so yeah. Oh my gosh, they're just flirting. They just flirt like autonomously. Although he's uncomfortable, so it's not going super well. But yeah, so why are you so uncomfortable? Sedentary lifestyle withdrawal. You're so weird. Yeah, so that's her new outfit, and we are going to have these two. Oh my gosh, she has so many positive sentiments towards him. Like, she loves him so much. So we are going to. I also, since of course we did end up losing our graveyard and stuff, which is a huge bummer. I don't know what it was that made me able to save some things and not others. Like, and I wasn't even able to save some things. Like, I would save a household and then it would hang forever and I would X out and somehow it had like worked in saving it. I don't know. But yeah, so you can see that I haven't deleted any lots from this world. I was just using a fresh save and I didn't even download the blank save. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, so she is just working with her smaller garden. I did remake this to be, similar to what it was. Obviously, I didn't save the new addition onto the house, but yeah, so they're just chatting and they're hanging out, and they're having a good relationship with each other. I don't think that El Rosaria thinks that she was particularly mean to Thomas before. Like, I think that she just was like, "Hey, can't you do this for me?" Like, and he kind of like was like, why does because he didn't want to, but. Oh well. So we are going to just send them out on a date to improve their relationship is already top tier. So, like, honestly, if Odogard didn't exist, this would be, like, perfect. The perfect relationship, the perfect marriage, the perfect everything. They've got 2 sons. They've got another baby on the way, probably. So I did download some new lots because I was complaining before, like, oh, there's not really much to do. Because I only had that one tavern lot as like a community lot, and then the church. So, there's Genevieve. There's the new Genevieve. I did give her a different hairstyle too. Everyone got a little bit of a makeover, and I figured, Genevieve should be wearing nicer clothes because she's a baroness now. So, yes. So they are going to do their date stuff, continue to flirt with each other, and they're really close. Like, I don't want to say that they have a bad relationship. I mean, I think that they bicker about stuff sometimes, but they don't have a bad relationship. So anyway, here we are, and everyone is, normal townies are showing up, even though I deleted them all, or I thought I did. But oh, look at this! Look at how cute that is! Oh my gosh, she's so suave. Like, come on, it's so cute. But yeah, so we have a gold on our date, and also I wanted to work harder as well in bringing Thomasina and Emil into the story. Like, I know that we haven't been paying a ton of attention to them, so it's kind of important to me that we do like continue to include them. And so Thomasina, obviously, she rolled not to get married, but that's okay. So she rolled not to get married, and she did though. Why are you way over there? So anyway, there's Emil. He did age up with slightly different genetics. I could find them when they were kids, but anyway, so there he is, and I just was having Thomas talk to him, and so Emil actually, his mother was Serena, obviously, and she was a knight, and so he is going to become a knight as well. He wants to become a knight like his mother. Thomasina's actually more into the charity orphanage aspect because they did grow up there, but she is not going to join the church because she's kind of like, oh, the church kicked us out, but the orphanage took us in. So she wants to be more active in, like, taking care of children and stuff, especially since she's not going to have any. But Emil wants to be a knight like his mom, so that's going to be really exciting for him. Hopefully we'll have them around more often as the children get older. Maybe he can inspire one of our kids to become a knight. That would be cool. So anyway, we are going to continue on in our main household. Odogard wants to play a prank on someone. For some reason, these whims aren't working. Like, she just pulled a prank on her, but it didn't check off the whim. I don't know. He wants to have a kid. She wants to have new possessions. Why are you mad? Why does your mouth look like that? She's having an emotional meltdown. That's great. So anyway, also, again, this is an older version of the house, so I have to replace the stuff that I had put here. So, oh well. But we'll get used to that. So let me just get the stuff out, and then we'll be okay, because she does want to dance to stereo music as well. So I'm going to have her do that. She can't admire this possession because I move objects on, placed it there. Whoops. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yes, I am glad that we were able to mostly save our house and save our main household, because that would have been so awful. Like, side characters I can replace. I am upset about Genevieve, but you know, I think that we got really lucky that I was at least able to get that. So anyway, she's enraged. So these two are just chatting, and again, they just like autonomously flirt with each other. Like, I don't even do anything, and they just flirt with each other. So I mean, what can you do, right? They are. Oh my gosh, you guys. So she found out she's eating for two. So she went to go tell Thomas that she's pregnant, and he's in here flirting with Odelgard. And part of me was like, should I stop them? But then I was like, no, I'm not going to stop them. So so she sees them flirting. She sees them flirting, and then they see her, and they keep flirting, and he's just making it worse. Like, oh my God, what are you doing? And she's so angry, and they keep flirting, and it keeps making their relationship worse. And I'm like, oh my God, look, they're in the red. Their romance is in the red. Oh my gosh, you got to get out of here, Odelgard, before this becomes unsalvageable. So, she's basically like, Odelgard, get out. Like, I got to talk to Thomas. So they start talking, and why are you flirty? She's flirty because she has a crush on him. But anyway, so, I'm like, wait, can I fix this? Because she's flirty. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. So they're talking, and he's like, basically, he is telling her everything. Like, everything he didn't tell her previously. He's like, look, Odelgard and I used to have a thing, but, like, it's not like that anymore, even though it kind of is like that still. But he's trying to be like, it's, I've been trying really hard to get over her. Like, I was originally going to marry her, but I chose you, and I don't regret choosing you, and I love our family, and I love our kids, and, like, I'm so sorry, and I'll try harder. And she's just kind of like, are you kidding me? Like, I mean, and keep in mind, she's still a teenager, and she was married basically in an arranged marriage, and she thought that they had this amazing relationship, and she was so happy that an arranged marriage worked out for her, only to come and find out that he's got someone else. And so she's so upset, and of course Genevieve comes over, and Genevieve is of course going to tear Thomas a new one and be like, I told you to get over that, and blah blah blah. And so they're all talking, and Odelgard is like, I'm just going to go over here. And so basically Genevieve is like, are you kidding me, Thomas? Like, seriously? Because of course Elrosaria told her what happened. And Genevieve is like, I told you to get over that. Like, I told you shouldn't have kept her around. Like, you don't even need her. You don't need this business. You have the estate. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, no, Mom really wants us to keep it. Also, there's Mom. If you can see her, I did, was it Story Girl who said, I'm sorry if I can't remember who said it, to add some gray into her hair. So I did. If that was you and it wasn't Story Girl, I'm sorry. You should comment and I'll pin it or something. So anyway, so yes, Odelgard is just making nectar, and Thomas and Elrosaria are trying to talk it out. And honestly, their talk went really well. And I think because one, Elrosaria is a teenager still, she's pretty naive, and also she doesn't really got any other options. Like, what's she gonna do? Divorce him? If she divorces him, like, she's got problems. Like, even if divorce is allowed nowadays, it's not like she's going to find another husband who will treat her as well as he does. So anyway, she's going to come and yell at Odelgard, who just walks around the place like she owns it. And she's going to say, look, I don't want to see you in this main household. I don't want to see you around my husband. I don't want to see your face. I don't want you to step foot in my house. You better stay in your little shack and do your job and stay away from my family. So basically that's what she's saying. And Odelgard is like, well, Thomas loves me. Like, you're not going to get rid of me that easily and all this stuff. So they're arguing with each other. And of course, I mean, Elrosaria is the lady of the household. She has given birth to 2 sons, and she is pregnant again. Like, she is doing everything that Odelgard wasn't able to do for Thomas, and I think that really hurts Odelgard, is that she's like, that could have been me. And so Thomas is going to come out, and she's just like, Thomas, you love me, don't you? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, look, I do love you, but she's my family, and I have to make this work. Like, we're not getting a divorce. It's not in the cards. It's not happening. So Odelgard is really kind of upset by that answer, is that Thomas once again, is putting his family first. He did that when he married her and broke up with Odelgard, and he's doing it now. And even though he continues to waffle and go back to her, in the end, he always chooses his family because that's his duty and that is his personality. So, she is really upset by that, but she is just kind of like, whatever. He always comes back in the end. Like, even though she's really hurt right now emotionally, but she's like, you know what, forget it. He always comes back to me. He'll come back to me again. So, anyway, that's what's going on there. Felice is becoming a teenager, so I'm just aging her up, and we'll give her a little makeover. And yeah, so that is where we're going to wrap up this part. Elrisaria has finally found out about Thomas and Odelgard. I mean, it's been a while that she hasn't found out, but she finally caught them in the act. Honestly, she walked right in autonomously because she needed to tell him that she was pregnant. But yeah, so Elrisaria has kind of banished Odelgard to her little area off to the side of the lot, and Thomas and Elrisaria are working on their relationship a bit. I don't know why I'm trying on hats on her when I gave her that hairstyle. But yeah, so that is what's going on. We're going to have another baby in the next part. Thomas is continuing to make the wrong decisions, but he's like attempting. I don't know what's wrong with him, that boy. So yeah, and I moved Felice back in with her stepmother because I felt like, Genevieve's not having any more children, so she can take the Heathcliff children back in. So she's back here, and she looks great, honestly. She's so beautiful. So there's that. And we are going to age up this baby because I forgot that he was supposed to be a toddler and not an infant. Oops. I just brought Malcolm into the household so that I could generate his baby again, but I am going to try to change the coloring a little bit to match what it used to be. Anyway, so that's where we're going to wrap up. I'm sorry about all the craziness regarding my save file, but we're just going to have to get used to the changes and keep moving forward. So I hope that you guys are excited for the next one. We'll have another baby, and our babies will age up into toddlers. So fingers crossed that both of our boys survive. I mean, we've been lucky so far, knock on wood. So I will catch you guys in the next one.